Hello everyone, Rurikhan here coming at you with another Dark Souls video, and today I'm going to answer a question that has been asked to me. It's probably been the most asked question that I've had in regards to Dark Souls, and interestingly enough, I never really thought that much into what the answer might be. I think I just gave kind of like different answers depending on my mood at the time. And you guys are like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But that is because that is just the way that I look at Dark Souls. It's an always evolving experience for me. Whoa, 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 whoa. Talk about evolution. As I was saying, it is an always evolving experience for me. And kind of like, I feel that the answer to the question that people kept asking me actually changed throughout basically the times that I've played Dark Souls, because sometimes it's been one thing, other times it's been something different. And it's interesting that I keep kind of hyping up about this question. I haven't even told you what the question is, though more than likely a lot of you guys will be able to figure it out through the title, assuming that I actually titled this damn video properly. But it's besides the point. Let's just get to the nitty-gritty of it. The question is, what is my favorite build in Dark Souls? It's been asked so many times that I've lost count. It's been asked on Steam, it's been asked on Twitter, it's been asked pretty much every time that I do a live stream, as well as which is my favorite weapon in the game. And so far, I've always said that my favorite weapon in the game is the Sunlight Blade. Sunlight Blade? No, that's wrong. The Sunlight Straight Sword? Whatever, Solaire Sword. I can't even remember the proper name of the weapon now. That is usually my favorite weapon. And to be honest, it is probably my favorite weapon. The problem with it is that it is obviously a quality weapon. Therefore, it requires a lot of investment in stat and points. So, I mean, if you're doing a build and you really want to... how should I put this? Let's say you're doing a build and you really want to min-max your stats, get maximum bang for buck. A quality build is not necessarily the best thing that you can do for yourself, because quality build will demand that you put points into dexterity and strength. So usually quality builds are better for their diversity. It allows you to equip a multitude of weapons. And while that is my favorite sword, it seems that the sword that I like using the most on my favorite build, so to speak, is actually the Baldur's Side sword. Oh, looks like I've already been through here, because the dragon is already dropped. This is actually in New Game Plus Plus. Some of you guys might recognize this character, those of you who've been with the channel for a while. This is the character from the Miyazaki tribute run. And after going over my characters, I would have to say this is probably my favorite build of all times, because it's got everything I like. It's got lightning spears, as you guys can see, because I love me some lightning spears. As a matter of fact, let's do some lightning spearing right here. Yo, bro, how you doing? Yoink. This is like my favorite spell in terms of animations. Lightning spears, great lightning spears, sunlight spears. These are the things I like. Then besides these spells, I also have the Power Within and Sunlight Blade. So it's also running a double buff kind of setup. And this is also the build that I've used on the Miyazaki tribute run, which you guys should be familiar with it. For those of you who do not know what the Miyazaki tribute run was, it was actually a run that I've made with this character, where I went to New Game Plus, Base Vitality, and a Calamity Ring. So pretty much almost everything in the game one-shotted me. And I've had a lot of fun. It was a run that was really challenging. And especially because a lot of people seem to think that I'm this amazing Dark Souls player, and I keep telling them I'm not. I'm just very passionate about Dark Souls. Doesn't necessarily make me a really good Dark Souls player. It just means that I kind of know what I'm doing. But I'm still not as skilled as other people in the community that are much more skilled than me, like Vegeta 311, for instance. Guy just does all kinds of weird and crazy shit. And there's more people like Vegeta, like ENB is pretty good as well. But at the end of the day, what I'm getting at is that this was probably the build that I've had the most fun with. And I know that you guys are wondering what the build is about, whatever. And it's basically what I just told you. It's a build that uses Baldur Side Sword, Baldur Shield. It's got Big Hat Logan's big hat for style, because I think it's a really cool looking hat. It looks awesome. It's got the Dark Moon, Dark Moon Talisman, because it's the best talisman that you can have in terms of magic adjust if you have 50 faith, which is what I have. And the reason why I have 50 faith is so that I can cast this miracle right here, the Sunlight Spear, which as you can see deals quite a bit amount of damage, particularly because I'm also wearing the Ring of the Firstborn, which is a ring that basically boosts the power of miracles, the strength of miracles, whatever the hell you want to call it. I'm using that ring right now, which also boosts the power of the lightning spears and whatnot, so that's pretty cool. Damn it, I already killed it? I wonder what else I killed, because I'll be honest, I have no idea how much I killed in this character in New Game Plus Plus. Looks like I also killed Havel. And as I was saying, this it's a very basic build. I realize this. Looks like we killed Taurus Demon. It's a very basic build, but at the end of the day, this was the build that I've had the most fun with, for sure. Because it was probably one of my most challenging runs. Because it's one thing dealing with Black Phantoms and all that. It's a different thing entirely to be one-shottable at most times. It is pretty beastly. Because a lot of people make mistakes. Let's face it. Throughout a playthrough, a lot of people will make mistakes. And wow, my game is really lagging. I don't know what's going on. I might have to reinstall my Dark Souls. It's been kind of laggy. As you guys can see, a lot of frame lag there. I'm not even using the 60 FPS unlock. Some people have suggested that would cause... What the balls is that about? That's not normal. Well, actually, it's my second time coming through here, so... I guess it might be normal. And I get flamed again. Thanks. Can I have another one of those? You filthy bastard. I guess he changed his mind. Thank you very much. I think I might be running too much anti-aliasing. That might be the case. Whoa! No good sir. Okay, so maybe you will get me. Well, that was a little bit cheap. So what else can you expect out of this build? Well, it's got a lot of versatility, because despite the fact that right now I'm using Baldur Side Sword and Baldur Shield, and that's kind of like the bread and butter of it, I also have a great scythe in this build for whenever I want to change it up, because those of you who've seen me play through the game, you guys know that I tend to be a little bit fickle when it comes to weapons and stuff. And usually in the middle of a playthrough, I'll grow tired of a weapon and I'll want to switch things up. And for when I want to do that, I got the Scythe. I got the Scythe of Doom, and I also happen to really like... Oh, looks like we already killed the boar. I got the Scythe of Doom, and I also happen to really, really, really love the moveset of the Scythe. So I can fool around with the Scythe if I feel like it. I can also fool around with just the Baldur Side Sword, which is a very good weapon, especially from a defensive standpoint, because you can just basically rely on it to poke through a lot of your enemies. And if you're really using it right, and you know what the hell you're doing, if you combine that with the Leo Ring and get the pokes in at the exact right time, you're going to get a lot of benefits from that sword. So that's the reason why I kind of picked that particular sword out of all of them. But as you can see, you can also fool around with this. The particular move that I really like out of this weapon is this one. You can just like run in and slash. Eat that, bitch. And again, it's just all about versatility. Now, something else that you'll find on this build is that this build has 16 strength. And you guys might be like, but nothing in the build actually uses 16 strength. No, there's actually one item in this build that uses 16 strength, and that is a Black Knight shield. And this might not be the best solution. Like, you can actually get maybe more bang for your buck if you go with the with that shield that's near the... Actually, I don't even know why I'm using the scythe in this situation. The Boulder Side Sword is a lot better for this, because Boulder Side Sword obviously has the poking attack. But anyways, I digress. As I was saying, you might be able to replace the Black Knight shield with the shield that you can find near the entrance of Blighttown, which is the Dragon Crest shield. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because it's also got a lot of fire resistance. So, but as you can see, if you go over to Black Knight shield, requires 16 strength, and that is the reason why I have 16 strength. Now, I don't think I have that other shield on me. No, because this character is in New Game Plus Plus, so obviously I've had to switch stuff around quite a bit. In fact, let me switch back to the Boulder Side Sword of Awesomeness. You might be able to use that other shield and get away with it, but at the end of the day, the main point was to get a shield that had a lot of fire resistance, and nothing beats the Black Knight shield as far as I'm aware when it comes to getting fire resistance. It's just a really solid fire resistance shield. And that is the reason for the 16 strength. It's also got a ton of stability, so that also helps. Particularly, like I said, if you're fighting Gwyn, like, that is the main reason for it. Like, you guys have seen me fight Gwyn. I'm not that good at fighting Gwyn, even when I go for parries, because for whatever reason, something in the parry timing changed from the consoles. Because in the consoles, I used to be able to just, like, eat Gwyn alive without any real issues. But in the PC version, I'm just not able to. So I don't know what's up with that. But either way, that was one of the ways that I found to kind of mitigate the issues that I have with Gwyn, because you can kind of just like sit behind that shield for a good amount of time while eating Gwyn's attacks to the face and not die with the Calamity Ring. So that's the reason why it's got 16 strength and the Black Knight shield. Other items that I also have a divine version of the Boulder Side Sword that is mainly for dealing with Nito's minions, because obviously if you're going to be one-shottable by almost anything in the game, you're going to want to make sure... What? How the hell did I do this? I killed the gargoyle... Oh, for a second I thought that the fog wasn't here. As I was saying, if you're going to be one-shottable by pretty much anything in the game, and you're going to be fighting Nito, you're going to be wanting to kill those 3 initial skeletons that come after you with a weapon. And that is why I came up with the Divine Boulder sword. It pretty much can be any divine weapon you want. As a matter of fact, if you want to be really cheap and stingy, you can even go with the Astora sword if you want to upgrade that all the way to the maximum. But the problem is the Astora straight sword is pretty crappy in terms of scaling. Like, you'd think, oh, but it's got like C, and the other thing is C2, I think, and you're like, that sounds like it's a pretty good deal. No, trust me, it's not. The scaling on that sword is garbage. So I prefer to use the, wow, I'm playing really bad. It's just, I'm really tired, and this is probably going to be the last video that I'm going to be recording in 2013. Because I've pretty much recorded all of the content that's going to be coming to the channel while I'm away. So this might be the last video I record, so that's kind of like why I'm really tired and just like slacking off. As a matter of fact, I have friggin' sunlight spears. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins. Take that. That's right, you can't handle the power of the sun. And this is why I like this build. It's got a lot of diversity with stuff that you can do. Like, oh, right now I feel like fighting ranged. I'll just switch the friggin' sunlight spears and shoot the crap out of people. Done. But as I was saying, you got the Divine Boulder Side Sword to deal with Nito's minions. And then I also have a Chaos version of the Boulder Side Sword, so that I can go to the Painted World and not have to worry too much about the toxic dudes. Obviously, the scaling on the Chaos Sword is not going to be great if you venture deeper into New Game Plus, But it's still decent, like, and you can just switch it for last hitting if you want. Or with this build, you can also just kill them from afar with friggin' lightning spears and whatnot. So you have a lot of choices. You can even kill them from afar with a bow. Which, in terms of a bow, what I did for this build, I actually regretted it, which is I did a divine bow. Because I was thinking, you know, I got the faith and I got all that stuff. And I went even with the divine composite bow. And that's a poor choice. Because if we take a look at the stats of this character, speaking of which, I haven't even shown you guys the stats. I got like 20 vitality, but you can switch vitality to suit your needs. I got 23 attunement, which is what you need to have all of the lightning spears, as well as power within and sunlight blade. I got 40 endurance because obviously that's where the cap is. I got 16 strength for the Black Knight shield, like I said. If you don't want to use the Black Knight shield, you need 14 strength if you want to have the option of using the Great Scythe. If you also don't want to use the Great Scythe, then I think you only need 12 strength for the Balder shield. Yeah, that's what you need. And I just switched Balder shield. Let me just switch this up again and get the Balder side sword there. There. So that is, those are the stats that you need. Wait, did I show all the stats? Yeah, 40 dexterity because obviously that's kind of the soft cap of dexterity. You can go above to 50, although you're not going to see much benefit because the scaling on the Balder side sword is only B, right? No, it's actually A. But still, you can go to 50 and you can still get some benefit off of it. But I wouldn't worry too much about it. The benefit's going to be very minimal. And then 50 faith so that I can use the Sunlight Spear. Also, the Sunlight Spear takes up two slots, which is not that much bang for buck if you look at other comparable spells. But still, I just really like all of the spears, and I wanted to be able to use as many of them as I possibly could. And that is why I like this build so much, because I can use all of the Sunbro abilities. And you guys might be wondering, so why Sunlight Blade and not Dark Moon Blade? I mean, you even have the Dark Moon Talisman. And the reasoning behind that is simply because I like being a part of the Warriors of Sunlight. It's literally that simple. I just like being a part of that covenant. And that is why I did it the way that I did it. Because if you really want to min-max, you'll want to get the Dark Moon Blade for sure, because it's going to increase your damage output. It's that simple. Not to mention, I believe there's even more enemies that are resilient to lightning than there are enemies that are resilient to magic. But I could be wrong on that. But definitely Dark Moon Blade will help you a lot more on Gwyn, because Gwyn is definitely resistant to lightning. So that is something that you're going to want to take into consideration as you make the choice of whether or not you want to play this build. Now, the choice in terms of gear, like, pretty much just wear whatever looks cool while you can still light roll. Like, I'm wearing Chester stuff because it looks cool, and it actually mixes really well with Big Hat Logan, which is a piece of gear that I really like. I really like Logan's Big Hat, and that is also the reason why I'm wearing the Balder Shield, because it mixes nicely with the rest of the set. Because Balder's Shield is actually not my favorite shield. Like, probably in terms of stats and whatever, because obviously I'm kind of a stat person myself, but like in terms of stats, I prefer the Silver Knight Shield. And you guys might be wondering, really? What's the difference? Well, the difference is that the Silver Knight Shield has more well-rounded resistances. If you look at the Silver Knight Shield, you actually got 100% physical, 40% magical, 75% fire, and 65% lightning, as well as a big-ass stability of 76. If you look at the Balder Shield, as you can see, everything is lower. Every single thing is lower. But that also includes weight. So whereas the Silver Knight Shield weights 5, the Balder Shield weights 4. But in terms of differences, let's see. You got 15 more in lightning, you've got 15 more in fire, and you've got 40% more in magic. So it's like, obviously the Silver Knight Shield is somewhat superior to the Balder Knight, but in this case, it was more of a looks thing. Because if you look at this whole set, the whole set is like kind of brownish in color. And it really blends in nicely if you look at the Big Hat Logan, Chester's long coat, and the shield. Everything just blends nicely. Even the sword. The simple fact that the sword is very simplistic and is not like a super pretty sword or whatever. Like, do I even have a pretty sword? Well, we got the gold tracer here. You know, like, this wouldn't mix as well, I feel. You know, it's like all fancy and stuff. I don't know. Then again, it does kind of mix, actually. I was wrong. It does kind of mix well, too, but it's like whatever. I just felt that the Baldur side sword actually does a good job of mixing with this whole set. Because it looks like, you know, it looks like more of a... It is more of a dexterity weapon, obviously. But I'm saying, not only it is a dexterity weapon, it looks like a dexterity weapon, you know? And this whole set looks like you're some kind of dexterity person. The only thing that I feel maybe doesn't apply that well to this set is the whole sunlight spear stuff. Because, I mean, you wouldn't expect this character that looks almost like a bum to, you know, like, be casting miracles. He doesn't look holy at all. He's some kind of... Did I just get a rapier? Lol. Thanks. But yeah, for all those of you who've always wondered what is my favorite build, this is my favorite build. I've kind of said that I really like the Solaire build, and I really do. I like running around playing almost as if I was Solaire. But at the end of the day, the Solaire build isn't really mine per se. It's a character in the game. Oh crap, I'm dead. Dead with 228,000 souls and no bonfire close by, or is it? Where did I rest last? Oh, actually, it looks like I rested really close. Lucky me. But as I was saying, like, the Solaire build is a build that the developers of the game created. It wasn't really created by me. I just like playing as Solaire because I like Solaire a lot as a character. Probably my favorite character in the whole game. But like I said, in terms of a build that I've made, that I've actually created the build, I don't think I've seen anyone else play this specific build like this anyways. This is definitely the build that I like the most. And it's interesting because it was a build that I did as a tribute to the director of the game. So like I've only done 2 tributes that I can remember, which is the tribute to Epic Namebro for all of his amazing content, and that build was also a lot of fun, and that build is actually what got me into the Baldur side sword, because before I did that particular build, I never really liked the Baldur side sword, and I never really appreciated the virtue of fast roll. I've always been kind of a mid-roll person with heavy armor and whatnot, and that build really pushed me exactly in the opposite direction. So now, I'm not even sure what my style is. If my style is actually running around in heavy armor, or if my style is running around in light armor. And that's the thing. That's why I kept getting, you know, that's why I kept becoming in this, that's why damn it, I can't even talk. That's why I became so indecisive about what my favorite build actually was at the end of the day. Oh, good job. I actually ran right into that. Which I kind of expected. I should have waited at the mid area, but I'm an idiot, and I'm tired. But as I was saying, that was the reason why I was always so confused. Like, I wouldn't know what to tell people. Like, should I tell people that, like, my favorite armor is, like, I don't know, Black Iron or Solaire's or whatever? Because recently I've been really playing with light armor. It's weird, you know? But yeah, I guess it's taken me almost half an hour to tell you guys about what my favorite build in Dark Souls is. But this is the one. As per usual, thank you very much for watching. I mean, it's also fitting that the final video that I record in 2013 is going to be a Dark Souls video, you know? It's kind of to be expected. But anyways, I think I'm still going to be doing a live stream on Saturday. I'm going to make an announcement when it's time for that. So stay tuned. But I'm still going to make an announcement video, but it's like, I don't consider announcement videos to be actual videos, you know? It's just like, whatever, it's an announcement. It's the same thing as posting something on Twitter, you know? That's what an announcement video means to me. It doesn't mean anything, so, which is why I'm saying this is the last video I'm recording in 2013. But yeah, stay tuned. There's probably going to be something happening on Saturday, and it's going to be Dark Souls related. So all of you Dark Souls fans out there, which obviously on my channel there's a ton of you guys, stay tuned for that. And yeah, hope you guys have been enjoying the content 2013. Leave me your comments, feedbacks, all that kinds of good stuff. Tell me if you like my favorite build of all times. If you guys think it is a good build or not, or call me a heretic or whatever. And I realize that being a part of the Sunlight Covenant is really like a personal taste thing, because a lot of you guys are gonna be like, "What? You're hurting your build because of that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's the way I play video games. I play for fun, and I don't give a damn about anything else." Thank you very much for watching. Comments, feedback, all that kinds of good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Aha! Die, you fiend! And always, remember, praise the sun.